Metal Gear Solid 5 The Phantom Pain on the Steam Deck OLED. There's a Steam Deck LCD video as well in the pinned comment. So this game is not verified, but it's marked as playable. Sometimes you need to invoke the on-screen keyboard to type stuff, that's probably why. So we're now into the game. The first thing that I would recommend, since this game is capped at 60 FPS, is to actually lower the refresh rate of your Steam Deck OLED to 60 Hz, because the native refresh rate is actually 90 Hz, so lower to 60. Can you unlock the frame rate in this game? Yes, you can use a mod to unlock it. Unfortunately, it doesn't hit a consistent higher frame rate. I tried it on my main PC and it was very hard to even reach 75 FPS consistently, so my advice is to leave it as is. It looks pretty good, it runs pretty well, it's pretty solid, so just see what I did there. 800p, everything on high, not on the highest, and textures on extra high. Some people told me that textures on high actually look better, but I couldn't verify if that's the case. And I disabled volumetric clouds, but if you want to use them, they are there. And well, this game, as you can see, in this specific location that has lots of foliage, this is where I drop frames the most when I played it on PC. Again, this game came out on PlayStation 4 at 60 FPS. It also came out on PS3 and 360 at 30 FPS. So that's pretty impressive, at least in my opinion. So yeah, I think it's time to do something more interesting. Let's do some combat. But this game has a very good battery life as well. Looks pretty good considering its age, and runs very well on Steam Deck. It's a 60 FPS title. I wish we could do 90, but I guess the game's code prevents that. So in my opinion, one of the best games for Steam Deck. Runs very smooth. It's a great game by itself. I'm calling the chopper because when it puts particles in the air, it actually increases the GPU usage, but as you can see, with the high settings instead of the highest, it's completely fine. So let's get to do something more interesting, like fighting lots of enemies with explosions. So one sec. Considering all this game has to offer when it comes to building stuff and waiting for research teams to get things done, I think it's the perfect portable game. Just like Peace Walker, but well, Peace Walker is an older title for a portable machine. This was like a AAA console title. So having it in the palm of your hands, one of my favorite games of all time. This is awesome. I wish it was finished, actually, especially the last chapters. So let's jump into Handheld so you can see how it looks in the smaller screen. Because on the direct capture we are seeing right now, there's probably lots of aliasing, because this game doesn't have any TAA, it's before that time, so it looks super crisp. But I think on the smaller screen this game really benefits from that. So let's get to that. Alright, now in Handheld, double check that your refresh rate is at 60 Hz. Battery life, well, according to this, we got 4 hours. It kinda makes sense. Let's see if I can get the sniper. It's been a while since I played this with a controller. There we go. And now let's get that chopper. Enemy chopper! So battery life, in my opinion, is super impressive, all things considered. Explode! Now! On the Steam Deck LCD, I think it was like 3 hours, so I think that's super cool. Again, also on the smaller screen, the aliasing, I can barely notice it. The smaller screen really helps this game. And at a low resolution like this, I usually don't like to use TAA. In some games you don't have that choice, unfortunately. It's a future problem, a thing from the future, unfortunately. Games have been baking that into the engines. So yeah, it's not like we have a choice, but on this one, it seems to be using some FXAA. But from a distance, I mean, you cannot see much of the pixelation really that offers. So yeah, pretty impressed on how this looks on the small screen, especially on the OLED. The colors really pop in comparison. I mean, on the Steam Deck LCD, it was still amazing. I played a lot of it on the Steam Deck LCD. Because in this game, there's a lot of progression when it comes to items and R&D and all that. It was just a matter of putting it into sleep mode and getting back into the game. Really a no-brainer. It's perfect for a game like this. To just be able to press the power button and continue where you left off. And we're going to extract him. So if you level up enough your Proton system, you actually have you can actually use a portal to extract enemies. So it doesn't matter if you're indoors. I think that's the maximum level for full zone extraction, which is hilarious. But there's a lot of progression again. I really like how this game does it. Will you extract him? Yes. I don't know, I'm killing everyone. It's just for the sake of content. Explosion! Ooh! No! Not the dog! So what to say? You probably already know about this game. If you don't, it's usually super cheap on Steam sales. And as I was saying, this game is usually very cheap on Steam sales. I highly recommend picking it up. Lots of hours of fun. And it also usually, I think it's called now the Definitive Edition, includes the prologue that was sold separately back then. It was a complete scam, like $40 for a demo. Well, not anymore. It's included. It's called Ground Zero, or Ground Zeroes. So it's like a nice extra gaming time, I'd say. But the game looks beautiful on this screen. And considering the 4 hours of battery, I can see myself playing this on a plane. That's so awesome. Also controls. The upcoming Metal Gear Solid 3 remake, actually you can see it in the trailer that the controls, the animations at least for Snake, are basically what they put here, especially when he's crouching or aiming something. You can clearly see that the animations were taken from here, so a game ahead of its time. And the fact that it performs so well, I mean, I know it's an old game, but it still blows my mind. It's pretty cool. I played it when it came out actually on PC. Everyone was surprised on how well it ran. Well, that's no exception. The only thing that's missing is high frame rate support. But at 60 it feels completely fine. The game just feels smooth. Clearly designed with 60 FPS in mind. So good job Kojima on that one. The Fox engine. Man, I wish Kojima could use the Fox engine still. So well optimized. And what a waste for Konami to keep this engine. Like, they use it for the Pro Evolution Soccer games. Then they jump into UE4 and abandoned the Fox engine. What a waste of a good engine. Anyway. So I wanted to show you this one of my favorite games of all time. Runs fantastic on Steam Deck, great battery life, great performance. Unfortunately, again, you cannot reach 90s because the mod that unlocks the frame rate, I mean, it works, but the game doesn't hit consistent 90s and we're CPU limited. So again, I will highly recommend you just play at 60, lower the refresh rate to 60, you get 4 hours of battery. If you lock it to, I don't know, 45, you can actually play it. Feels less smooth, but you get even more battery life. I would say maybe... let's check it now that we're here. If you want to play at 45, you probably will get... oh yeah, it looks horrible at 45 in my opinion. But hey, that's an option as well if you want even more battery life. You probably get 4.5 to 5 hours like this. You might get used to it. But if playing this at 60, it's very hard to go any lower than that, really. It's clearly, again, designed to play at 6 FPS. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did playing this game again. I really like this game. I highly recommend you play it, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys, thanks for watching.